لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تبارك وتعالى وخير هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار وبعد. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the mighty, the sublime, has given us another chance to be together as we hope today, bismillah tabarak wa ta'ala, to conclude our Tafseer of surah-al-fatihah. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى التوفيق والإخلاص والهداية إن شاء الله. Ameen. Ask Allah تبارك وتعالى tawfiq, guidance that has a good ending, ikhlas, purity, that the action is done to receive the reward from him, to receive the reward from him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not to show off, and inshallah the direction inshallah through the talk. The last class we left off, barakallahu fikum, we took Iyaka na'abudu wa Iyaka nasta'in. Iyaka na'abudu wa Iyaka nasta'in. And we said that Iyaka, some people say Iyaka. It's not Iyaka, it's Iyaka. E like elongation, and then Ya along with Ka. Iyaka. And this, yani barakallahu fikum, the ulama, they mention ماذا تقديم مفعول. تقديم مفعول. What maf'ul in the Arabic language means is something that the action, or someone that the action is done towards or to. And in the grammatical sentence, this never comes first. The maf'ul in the Arabic language, the thing or the one, or in the case of created things, person, because this is inclusive in talking about Allah. So you can't just say person, because Allah is not a person. You have to say the one, which would make it okay to say that about Allah, as Allah is ahad and He's wahid. Or you say the thing if you're talking about an object. Or this is inclusive when you talk about Allah, as Allah says in the Quran, "Qul ayyi shay'in akbar shahada qulillah," and say to them, O Muhammad, which is the greatest thing to bear witness to? And then the Prophet was told to say, Allah, shahidun baynana wa baynakum, Allah, which He is a witness between you and us. So thing also includes Allah. Doesn't mean just objects and created. The word is used general for creation or creator. And then you have, when you talk about people, you say person. So here, when you talk about the issue of maf'ul, it is the thing or the one or the person that the action is being done to, or the action is being directed towards. So if you're making dua to Allah, then that action is being directed towards Him. If you're asking someone to help you on the road, then that action is being directed towards that person. And if you are reading the Quran, which is the speech of Allah, then the action is being done to earn the reward, but the action is being done to the book of Allah. To the book of Allah. So in this case, the Quran would be maf'ul. If you were to say, Qara'a Ahmadu Qur'ana. Qara'a Ahmed, or a person did something past tense, mean he read. This is the meaning of Qara'a. And then Ahmadu would be the one who's doing the action, which would be the doer. And then you have the maf'ul, the thing that is affected or the action that is being done to, al-Qur'ana. So here the concept, Iyaka al-Tabarak wa ta'ala, brought that in the ayat first. And normally you don't do that, except you want to make something all-inclusive, you want to make something absolute in the language, then you can taqaddim al-maf'ul. You can bring the thing that's going to be done the thing that's going to be affected or the thing that the action is going to be done towards the two, you can bring that and put that in the beginning of the sentence only to make something all-inclusive and make it general. So here, that's why Allah put iyaka, because normally in the Arabic language you will say la na'budu illa iyaka, la na'budu, we do not worship illa except iyaka. Iyaka only means you. This is what the E stands for. The iya means only towards, or only to, and then who. Iyahu, only towards him. Iyakum, only towards you all. Iyana, only towards us. Iyaka, only towards you. And this is the statement of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in surah-al-fatihah. And the ulama, they mentioned that Allah himself revealed it like this. Yani, they said to make hasr, yufid al-hasr, to make something absolute. So when you say iyaka na'budu, it's as if you're saying absolutely no way that anyone should worship anything other than you, O Allah. And as a Muslim, when you say iyaka, then you're making a statement that in any way, form, or fashion should I worship anyone except you. That's in a small way, a big way, like this. Even if you do it unknowingly, it goes against iyaka, only to you. And that's what the Prophet ﷺ, he used to say, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika an ushrika bika shay'an a'lamu. O Allah, verily I seek refuge in you that I should make shirk to you knowingly. Wa astaghfiruka lima la a'lam, and I seek refuge in you and I seek your forgiveness for the shirk that I make unknowingly. Why? Because iyaka means absolutely worship is only to Allah in any sense of the meaning of worship. On mistake, purposely, big, little, inconspicuous, very clear, all of it is a no-no. And this is the meaning of iyaka na'budu. That's why Allah brought iyaka first, which covers the totality of worship, inclusiveness in every way, na'budu, and then Allah said wa iyaka, and here's the iyaka again, nasta'in. And the nasta'in, ulama, they said Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala coupled that in the verse because there's no way that a person will be able to devote himself for 1 second, 1 minute, 1 moment, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. He will not be able to devote himself. She will not be able to devote herself in worship except by the assistance of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And that's why Allah coupled them, iyaka na'budu. Verily, you are the only one we absolutely worship, O Allah. Wa iyaka, and you are the one that we absolutely nasta'een, seek help. And this doesn't mean Allah musta'an, as the Sufiya and others from amongst them think, you just sit and Allah will take care of it. You just sit and Allah would send to you. You just sit and Allah will work it out. We're not saying that Allah can't, if you just sit, give to you. We're not saying that Allah won't send to you if you just sit. And we're not saying that Allah won't barakallahu fikum, bless you and give you something without you doing anything. Most of what we get is because Allah is solely merciful to us. We have, in most cases, Allah musta'an, no worthiness of what Allah gives us because of our sins and our arrogancy and our obstinacy and stubbornness. But Allah still gives out of His mercy, still gives out of His gentleness, out of His benevolence. Allah He gives. As the Prophet said, no one will enter the Jannah. No one will enter the Jannah illa bi rahmatillahi tabaraka wa ta'ala, except by the mercy of Allah. Because the fact that Allah guided you to the Islam, then He continued to guide you after that to do the good deeds. And He continued to guide you when you fall into something to make tawbah. And He continued to guide you to make you want to stay upon belief. And He continued to guide you to make you feel bad when you do something wrong. And He continued to guide you when you can make a bad choice. All of that's from His rahmah, from His mercy. He didn't have to guide you. He gave you choices, and He could have said, that's it. I leave it totally up to you. But Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala send you signs, He send messengers, He send revelation. He gives you the ability to reason, to think, to use your logic, to look and choose which one is best for you and to know which one is best. Allahu Akbar Kabir. So, and we're not saying that Allah is incapable of giving you or blessing you or sending something to you, but the rule in Islam is that you do. Allah has commanded you. Yani wattaqu asbab. Allah said, and take your approaches to achieve something. Tabarak wa ta'ala said, وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. And take your provision. And the best thing that you can have as the provision is your taqwa. Well, they mentioned provision of the dunya first. He was talking about those who are going for Hajj. Your provision that you need, your food, your drink, your beast, your shoes, or whatever you're going to use as a way of getting to and from. So here, even when you try to do something as Allah commands you to do, even as Allah commands you to try to find the way, because trying to find the way and depending on Allah that He will make that way successful, He will make that way a means of having the result that you're trying to achieve, is worship, is tawakkul, relying on Him. Now, so here that's why Tabarak wa Ta'ala couple Iyaka na'budu, indeed you alone in every way we worship, wa Iyaka nasta'in, and to you is the total reliance, meaning that when something doesn't go right, don't fall to pieces, because if you had your total reliance on Allah, you know that it's in His hands, and He knows if it's better for you to give it to you now. He knows if it's better to keep it from you now. He knows if it's something that is good for you or bad for you. Asa an takrahu shay'an wa huwa khayrun lakum. And it could be that a person would dislike and hate something, abhor something, although that thing is good for him. Asa an tuhibbu shay'an wa huwa sharrun lakum. And the opposite holds true. It could be something that you yourself you love, but it's bad for you. How many of the times have we been in that situation? Allah musta'an. Something is Allah musta'an, good for you, and you dislike it. وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانَ ضَعِيفًا. And the human being is created weak. Weak. هذا هو ضعف. This is a weakness. So something is good for you and you dislike it. أعوذ بالله. How many times have we been in this situation? Tabarak wa Ta'ala has given us good and we prefer that which is bad. A'udhu billah. And how many times have we, Allah musta'an, liked something, loved something, desired something, and it's evil. It's evil, but you desire it. Something destructive, but you want it. Allahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamun. Allah, He knows, and you all don't know. So this is Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. That there will be no worship except you depend on Allah to give you tawfiq upon that worship. As Rasulullah said, yumsihu mada yumsihu musliman wa yusbihu kafiran. Na'am, or kama qala. Person will be believing by evening and by night, but by the morning, khalas, is switched. He's a disbeliever. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يقول ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين. And do not leave me to myself, Allah, for the blink of an eye. لحظة, for a single moment. Without the guidance of Allah, without depending and seeking His assistance, we will not have anything, حتى العبادة, even the worship we won't have. So Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala's mercy, His wisdom, His knowledge, He mentioned Iyaka na'budu, that indeed, verily, in every way we worship you, O Allah, and then He followed that by ma la barakallahu fikum wa Iyaka nasta'in. as if a person is saying, لا نعبدك إلا بماذا إلا لا نعبدك إلا بمستعينا بك. That we don't worship you except by depending and seeking your help in their worship. And then we went from يعني اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. And Tabarak wa Ta'ala give us the command form to ask him, like you command somebody. Ihdina, guide us. Ihdina is the command form of huda or hidayah, guidance. Allah said ihd. This is the command. You're telling someone to give guidance. And Allah said na, which is the pronoun for nahnu, meaning we. So Allah saying to us to say ihdina, guide us, O Allah. And this is only because nahnu barakallahu fikum fuqara ila Allah. As Allah himself said in the Quran, Allahu ghaniyun wa antum al-fuqara. Allah owns everything. He is al-maliku. He has everything in his ownership in this life and the hereafter. He can do what he wants. He can stop what he wants whenever he wants. He can give when he wants. He is the one who owns everything in this life and in the hereafter. There will be no one having ownership except him. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we are fuqara ilallah. In comparison to Allah, we are fuqara. We have nothing. Even we don't belong to ourselves. We belong to Allah. That's why we say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi madha raji'un. From Allah we came and where we're going back to our Lord. وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا تُرْجَعُونَ فِيهِ إِلَى اللَّهِ. The Prophet ﷺ was mentioned this ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah. As there's a difference of opinion which is the last thing revealed to the Prophet ﷺ. Is it الْيَوْمَ أَكْمَلْتُ لَكُمْ دِينَكُمْ وَأَتْمَمْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعْمَتِي وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا. Tabarak wa Ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Ma'idah. Is it this verse? Where Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala said, on this day, I have completed my favor unto you, and I have completed your religion, and I am pleased with Islam as your deen. Or is it إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحِ? And when you see the help of Allah, meaning once the Muslims take Mecca without a finger being raised, they walk and they march into Mecca. And we don't mean march with picket signs, or the other billah, not the marching of the kuffar. We mean you walking in, you coming in a single file, you coming, and this is type of slogan we use in English, they're marching, they're coming in as a group. But not with drums and guitars and a'udhu billah, like this birthday of the Prophet they celebrate. Not with picket signs as they root for Palestine and they root for justice and all of this. La. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا. Is this the last thing revealed, or is it this statement? Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha said that Prophet ﷺ died, and then she mentioned somewhere around 13 nights or 13 days after he read this verse, and after this verse was revealed, not read but revealed. بعد نزول واتقوا يوما ترجعون فيه إلى الله, and fear the day that you all will be brought back to Allah. Now, so here, what's the point? The point is that نحن فقراء إلى الله. This is the meaning of اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا, the first part. We're definitely فقراء إلى الله. We are definitely nothing compared to Allah. We have nothing, we own nothing, everything is in His hands. So He's al-Ghaniyu, He's the one who owns everything. He doesn't need anyone or anybody. He's self-sufficient. This is the meaning of al-Samad. And Surah Al-Ikhlas, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, Say Allah, He is ahad. In every way, He is not like anything. He's only the way He described Himself, and His messenger described Him from revelation. He is not like anything else of His creation. Even if Allah yatakallam wa nahnu natakallam, even if Allah speaks and we speak, the speaking is not the same. But Wallahu ahad. This is the meaning, this is the basis of that. Then Allahu samad. Meaning Allahu ghaniyun an kulli shay. Allah does not need anything. This is why I said to us to say ihdina in this kind of form. Commanding Him but begging Him. It's like a child would say, please give me some water. Give me some. He's commanding you, but He doesn't own you. He's not like powerful. Can't take it from you. He's a baby. 2, 3, 4, 5. You're His father. You're His mother. But He's so miskeen. He's so in need of it. He's begging you but commanding you at the same time out of being so in need and desperate. And this is the rububiyyah of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, the lordship of Allah. This is the uluhiyyah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the being subservient to Allah. And we have to believe this is our position, that we are fuqara ila Allah. We are very in need of Allah, nothing without Allah, poor, helpless, hopeless without Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Wa ilayhi turja'un, and to Him is your return. As-sirat al-mustaqim is the thing that Allah told us to ask Him to guide us to. Ihdina as-sirat, as-sirat, ihdina as-sirat bi alif lam. Bi alif lam, huna yani barakallahu fikum, huwa al-Islam. It is the salam of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, deen al-Islam. It is the tranquility, the peace, the safetiness from the punishment of Allah, the obedience to Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, huwa al-Islam. And you have a hadith that is collected by Ibn Abi Asim. Ibn Abi Asim was one of the great ulama of hadith. He collected a narration that's authentic where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, As-siratu huwa al-Islam. As-siratu huwa al-Islam. He said the sirat here is Islam. And why did Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala's messenger say that? Because sirat here means sabil, the way of tariqah, the way that you're going to conduct yourself. Tariqah means your methodology, your way, your mannerisms, everything that you do. This is yani sabil. And sabil, tariqah, one of the meanings of it is as-sirat. And that's what the Prophet he said, as-sirat, that total path, total way, it is Islam. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said to the Prophet, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا, and this is my way straight. And the Prophet, as this was being recited to some of the Sahaba, the Prophet drew a straight line. خَطْ اتِّدَالًا سُوِيًّا, a straight line. He said, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا, and this is my way straight, Allah said. Then the Prophet ﷺ, he drew lines this way, that way, in different directions. خطوط يعني ميلا يملي إلى هذا وهذا. Lines going zigzag, lines going this direction, 45, 60, 70, 10, any degree other than straight. And then Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala said after that, فَاتَّبِعُوا فَاتَّبِعُوا فَاتَّبِعُوا, till the Prophet followed this weighted straight, which is the path of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. And then Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala prohibited him something. He said, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا سُبَلًا. Subal is the plural of sabil. You have sabil, singular. And you have, yani barakallahu fikum, sirat, singular. So Allah, He said, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا, this is my way straight to the Prophet, فَاتَّبِعُوا, follow it. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا سُبَلًا, but do not follow those other ways. And that's why the Prophet drew lines in all different directions to illustrate this to the Sahaba. He said, وَعَلَى كُلِّ رَدْسٍ شَيْطَانٍ وَعَلَى كُلِّ رَدْسٍ مَاذَا شَيْطَانٍ. And at the head of each one of these other ways is a shaitan. And this is a proof that you cannot follow the shaitan. You cannot follow the shaitan. Now, the Prophet was told, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا سُبُلًا فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ. Do not follow those other paths, because why? فَتَفَرَّقُ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ. Because it's going to take you away from my path. As they say, duh. If Allah give you a straight path, you choose to follow some other path, how in the world you think you're going to be on a lost path? It doesn't work like that. As the Arabs say, mush mukhalis. This is a person, his mind is not right. Something wrong with his brain. It doesn't work like that. So al-sirat al-mustaqim, the straight path of sirat, nam sabil. Al-mustaqim, yani a way that is yani sulban, ittidalan, it's straight. The opposite of yani mustaqim is muwajjah, meaning it's crooked. And Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, He explained what is this sirat al-mustaqim. Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, sirat al-ladhina an'amta alayhim. And sirat al-mustaqim is sirat al-ladhina an'amta alayhim. Alayhim, those that Allah gave them this way. And He mentioned this in Surah al-Barakallahu fikum al-Madha, in Surah al-An'am. Now, He mentioned this in the book of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. He said, وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ. And that is not Surah Al-An'am, no. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ. Whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger. Look at this highlight. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. Whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger. But He's talking about asking Allah to guide us to a straight path. And the straight path is those who He graced those with, meaning before us. But why did He start the ayat with وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ? Because this is the basis of being upon Sirat al-Mustaqim, the obedience to Allah and His Messenger. فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ. Said, then these are those who Allah has blessed them with the an'am, min al-anbiya, from the prophets, messengers, was-siddiqeen, those who are really devoted and really believe. And then Al-Tabarak wa Ta'ala mentioned was-shuhada, and those who died in His cause, was-sadiqeen. Now, was-salihin, was-salihin. So it's al-anbiya, prophets. وَمَاذَا وَالصِّدِّقِينَ, the ones who are really devoted in their belief, like Abu Bakr, Siddiq, and others. وَمَاذَا وَالشُّهَدَاء, those who died in the cause of Allah, like the people in the ditch, and all of these stories before the Ummah of the Prophet ﷺ, those prophets that were killed. And then likewise those who were killed after those prophets in the cause of Allah. And then was-salihin, and those who are the righteous. And Allah said, وَحَسْنُ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا, these are the best company to be in. So this is the meaning of يعني صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lastly He said غير المغضوب عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم. غير المغضوب عليهم. غير is the opposite of what Allah mentioned before. And Allah alayhim, those who Allah blessed, who graced. And then He mentioned the likes and descriptions of them, prophets, messengers, those who are the true, devoted, real believers. You have the highest level after the prophets and messengers. Those who died in His cause, fi sabilillah. And we're not talking about suicide bombers and ahlul jihad, wa jamaat al-takfir, wa ha'ulahi dhalimin. We're not talking about them. هذا ليس في سبيل الله. هذا في سبيل الشيطان. This is in the way of shaitan. أعوذ بالله. قتل والقتال سفك الدم وماذا وزلزلة وقلقلة والظلم يعني فساد في الأرض ليس من الدين. To kill people, bloodshed, يعني causing unrest, يعني making everybody shook, making things with nothing but turmoil, and making all types of problems throughout the world and the land. This is not fi sabilillah. This is fi sabili shaitan. We're talking about those who died fighting because they were invaded, fighting because people wanted to kill them for what they believed. They were minding their own business and they had to fight or be annihilated. This is fi sabilillah. كالإخواننا حصروا يعني في الدماج والذين بارك الله فيكم قبلهم من قبلهم, and those before them in other places. They were minding their business. Not like the lies of the newspaper and the CNN and BBC. They told lies that they made takfir of the Rafid of the Houthi and threatened to kill them because they deemed them to be kuffar. هذا ليس بصحيح. هذا كذب. افتراء على إخواننا بل افتراء على الله تبارك وتعالى ورسوله. This is a lie upon our brothers and sisters. Rather, it's a lie upon Allah and His Messenger, because this is not the deen of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. If someone is kafir, murtad, or like this, Allah musta'an, you leave them. You don't go and do anything to them. You're not an authority like that in a village where you learn and you seek ilm. And they're outside of your country, they're not bothering you. Khalas, that's between them and Allah. If they're not under your rule as a government, you have nothing to do with this. But people, they come to kill you. People, they come to annihilate you. You have to fight. This is example fi sabilillah. Naam, barakallahu fikum, shuhada. Those who died in the cause of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. Naam, wa salihin. Those who stay away from sins. Those who avoid illegal intercourse. Those who avoid that which leads to illegal intercourse. That which Allah tabarak wa ta'ala and His Messenger has made prohibited. Those who avoid all of the intoxicants. Those who avoid gambling and lying. Those who avoid bid'ah and that which is heresy. That which Allah tabarak wa ta'ala and His Messenger has made prohibited. Those who avoid all of the major sins. This is salihin. So غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ غَيْرِ is the opposite of the people mentioned in the verse prior. And then Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala said they are غَيْرِ what? غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوب. Allah is not upset with him. The maghdub is from the word غَضِبَ, anger. Maghdub, those who have earned that anger. This is maf'ul. Maghdubi, those who are affected by the anger of Allah. So it's a repetition of those who say Allah doesn't have anger. Yeah. If Allah is angry with you, and this means He has anger. He can't be angry with you. The anger of Allah can be on you if He doesn't have anger. Does that make sense? Nah, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ. Prophet he said they were the Yahud. In many authentic narrations. وَلَا الضَّالِينَ, he said they were the Nasara. And he mentioned that the Yahud were Maghdubi because they have ilm. They have knowledge. وَلَا يَعْمَلْ بِهِ, but they don't practice it. لَبَسَ الْحَقِّ بِالْبَاطِلِ, they cover the truth with falsehood is not enough. They actually have knowledge and they themselves don't practice it. So this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's anger upon the Maghdub. And Abdullah ibn Mubarak, who was from the A'immatul Salaf, he mentioned that anyone who imitates them in that, even the Muslim, if he has some knowledge and he doesn't practice it, then he takes a portion of this ayah. He becomes a maghdub like the Jew. Because the origin of this injunction, because you have some knowledge and you hide it. You have some knowledge and you don't practice it, as Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has mentioned about them in His book in many places. وَالْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ بَارَكَ اللَّهُ فِيكُمْ الْيَهُودِ وَالْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ الشَّيْطَانِ وَالْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ كَذَلِكَ يُشْمَلْ النَّصَارَى. Any person that has knowledge and they don't practice it. And Tabarak wa Ta'ala mentions about the people of the book, including the Nasara. فَوَيْلَ الَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ بِأَيْدِيهِمْ ثُمَّ يَقُولُونَ هَذَا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. And there will be in the fire those who say this is from Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, and they write some stuff and give it to the people, pass it off as the revelation, while this is not from Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And then Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala mentioned وَلَضَالِينَ. He mentioned they were the Nasara, to differentiate between the two. So when we talk about the Yahud, they are Maghdub and Waladdaleen. When we talk about them by themselves. And when we talk about the Nasara, they are Maghdub and Waladdaleen. When we talk about them by themselves. And when we talk about them together, then the Yahud are Maghdub, to differentiate, and the Nasara are Waladdaleen, as the scholars have mentioned. Now, when Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, the Messenger mentioned the Yahud specifically as Daleen, meaning يعني يعبدون الله على الانحراف وعلى الزيغ وعلى البدعة. They worship Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala on that which is deviation. They worship Allah with no evidence. They worship Allah on desires. Now, and we can see this filth through their religion. Drums, guitars, shouting like they have seizures, bumping into the chairs, lady dress going up, she on the floor. This is not worship, this is fallen desires. Put in the picture of a man, they know that's not Isa. Udu billah. All the Bible verses they got talking about the description of Isa, there's not one verse they have to say he has a blonde hair and blue eyes. Min aina atait. Where did this come from? From their desires. Allahu musta'an. So this is the ghayr maghdubi alayhim wala dhalin. And the ulama, they mentioned, barakallahu fikum, whoever imitates them in these ways, they have knowledge and they don't practice it, they take a portion of that verse, like the Jews, they are under that verse. And whoever worships Allah on other than evidence, clear evidence, then he takes a portion of that verse, the Nasara, Allahu musta'an, even if they claim they are from the Muslims. And lastly, 3 benefits from this. يعني غير المغضوب عليهم. You have غير المغضوب عليهم. وفي قراءة السبعة غير المغضوب عليهم. You have عليهم and عليهم. عليهم is one of the 7 types of recitation. And Shaykh Uthaymeen, he gives a beautiful piece of advice as he says that the person shouldn't read in a recitation that's not prevalent in that land. If the majority of the people read Hafs and Asim, which is what we normally know in America, we hear in the Salat, we pray it in Ramadan, then that's what you read. Don't go read Warsh, Dosi, these other recitations that's not prevalent. If you're in Morocco where they read Warsh, or you in Barakallahu Fikum, Libya or Tunis where they read Warsh and Dosi, Tayyib Labas. Because people are going to understand, oh, he's reading from this. And they're not going to think you make a mistake. If you want the Salah and you say, Ghayr Maghdubi alayhum, somebody's going to correct you. They're going to think, what is he doing? That's not Quran. Because they don't know it. So the Shaykh, he said, for this reason you don't do it. You stick with the recitation that's prevalent. Because number one, the first thing, they will think that those who are ignorant will think the Quran is confusing. And they may diminish their respect for the Book of Allah. Number 2, they may keep their respect for the Quran, but they may think that the teacher, Allah Musta'an, is ignorant. He doesn't really know, he's making it up. So where you will have a benefit for them, they will be deprived of their benefit because they will go away from you. As they say, they will fall back. They think like he's ignorant because they don't know. And then lastly, if they're fond of you and they respect you, they may have a bit of taqleed. They want to follow and do like you. Then he may read the Quran like you heard you read it with that particular recitation, but he's reading it based on jahl. So he's messing up the Quran because he didn't learn. He just heard you say غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهُمْ. So he's saying it. But is it a no when you can say that? When you can't, he's changing the vowels of this and that and the third. Also Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, he mentioned فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ فَزَادَهُمُ اللَّهُ مَرَضًا وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ بِمَا كَانُوا يُكَذِّبُونَ. Somebody would think, what is it doing? It's not يُكَذِّبُونَ, it's بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْذِبُونَ. But in another recitation, يُكَذِّبُونَ. The narration, بارك الله فيكم, on ماذا؟ القانون النافع. نعم، قانون النافع. which is a whole other recitation. So this was the advice of the Sheikh, that you stick with the recitation that is prevalent in your land. نسأل الله تبارك وتعالى يحق الحق الحق ويبطل الباطل إنه سميع الدعاء. ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى يحق الحق حق ويبارك فينا ويجزينا على ميزاننا يوم القيامة. We ask Allah تبارك وتعالى to make the truth appear as truth and to give us a reward on our scales on the day of judgment. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Floor is open for questions quickly before the time runs out. وجزاكم الله خير. To unmute your phones, you can press the start key twice to ask your questions, and then politely mute your phone back with the mute button. Barakallahu feekum. Bab Mahtuli As'ila. Floor is open for questions. Hafizakum Allah. Jazakum Allah khair. Inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala, and we will start a new book on Sunday, bismillah, and a new book on Wednesday. I have to decide if it's going to be some around fasting, or if we will continue with Aqidah and the issues of Quran, or like this. Allahu Alam. Lakin nas'al Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yuwaffiqana lima yuhibbu Allah wa yardah. However, we ask Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq and to make us upon that which He loves and that which He is pleased with. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا هو أستغفره ونتوب إليه وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Voiceover on. Studio. Live.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
ADD new song. Button. Power off. Button. Power up.